What's going on, everybody? It's always a great day to play a roguelike game, and today we're checking out the new major update that was released for Spelldisk. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Spelldisk, it was my #1 favorite game from 2023. I made a video on my top choices from last year. If you missed that video, I'll leave a link for you for that video right here. But today we're going to take a look at the updates that they've put into the game. I wasn't expecting any updates for this game, to be honest, because it's been such a long time, but I am very, very excited to see what they have for us. So first of all, let's go ahead and take a look at the update that they put up on the Steam news. So this is version 1.1, and they've listed a couple of things here. So the first thing is the custom dungeon builder. Essentially, this will allow you to adjust the difficulty, or it seems like you can go into the negatives as well, but you can essentially adjust the difficulty of the custom dungeon using different levers for the enemy health, the enemy amount, their attack damage, things like that. Now, for this custom dungeon builder, it's really just for fun. No achievements will be able to be unlocked with it. You won't get your set memory after you finish the dungeon, which allows you to do various other game modes with the build that you finished the run with. So it's really just for fun. We might check that out today just to see how crazy things can get. The other thing that we have added is the Arsenal Sandbox. Essentially what this is they put in a mechanism in the training area where you can just spawn any item that exists in the game and make your dream build, test it out, and hit a bunch of training dummies with the build that you make in this training session. So this is, again, not something that I really think I will be using, to be honest with you, just because it's just for practice, and I feel like I've gotten enough practice by getting all the achievements in the game before I stopped playing it last year after discovering this awesome game that I really liked. The other thing is Time Stone. This is allowing you to manipulate the time in the game, essentially making everything move faster or slower. It's kind of cool, but again, I'm not sure if I'm super excited about that. Wardrobe items, I think that this is the most exciting thing for me, just because that means that there are new items that will give us additional starting stats for your loadouts that we haven't seen before. So all the other things are cool, but this actually gives us more variety for the gameplay or how you're going to go through a run. So I am excited to check those out. There's new localization, so we have German, French, and traditional Chinese localization. They have text improvements, so we can expect some improved tooltips. I'm assuming graphics touch up. I hope I can maybe pick out some of these. So it seems like they've updated some visual design for some of the elements, and now we have some trading cards as well. A whole list of item balances for artifacts and discs, and also some spells, and some minor adjustments down here that I will not go through. So with that, let's jump into Spelldisk, and we're gonna start up a game and see how things are looking now. Okay, so nothing new over here for me. Let me see if the wardrobe will give us something new. Let me see if we can increase the difficulty. It seems like we can. I can't remember if this stops at anything, but the level might just keep going up and up almost infinitely, or maybe up to level 99. I haven't seen the end result of the difficulty changer here. Now let's go to this outfit thing. And it seems like we might have everything unlocked. So Chronomancer, I think, is one of the new ones, and same with the Flower outfit. Right, so for Flower outfit, when a player performs a weapon attack, generate weapon spell mana. However, decrease weapon spell mana regeneration. Interesting. So this is more for a melee type of build, which I'm not really doing very often. I like to rely on my spell disc. All spells are stacked and said. I'm pressing the spell button, cast the stacked spells. All spells are stacked instead. The way that I'm reading that is that as you regenerate mana, you generate stacks, and you choose when to release all those stacks of spells. So you're continuously just generating a lot of those stacks and releasing them all at the same time, I think. So here we have the cone hat. Create slash attacks. When performing completely charged attacks, decrease weapon spell mana regeneration. So this would go with the flower outfit. Increase movement speed, but temporarily decrease movement speed when player takes damage. Whoa. That is a high risk, high reward, or high skill cap type of item. That's pretty interesting. I don't love it, to be honest, but it is interesting to have. If anything, I would like to try the stacks, and I'll probably use it with the bone helm just because it is also new. So let's select you, and we are out of here. And this is the dungeon customizer. So we're going to enable it. Custom mode games are not saved, as I had said before. So how much can we really pump this up? Oh my god. 300, really? 500%? No way. I can't press a button fast enough. Will it ever stop? Or is this just something where you can go to whatever level you want and it will just do the maths in the background? Holy moly, I don't think we want to go this high. I want to see the maximum for it, but I can't just like hold on to the right hand stick. I can't hold on to just D and let it go, but I think going on the keyboard's faster. I'm going to try to see if there is a max at some point. This is ridiculous. I mean, number of enemies would be more fun. Can I reset this? I would like to reset this so it's not 2000 now. Oh crap. Okay, sorry, I have to make you watch me do this. We are going to increase, decrease, A or R. Maybe R goes faster. R is not going faster, but it does make a sound. Wait, it does go faster. Or maybe I'm just clicking it faster. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is we're going to do just a bunch of enemies, maybe? That's what's interesting me most. So if we increase the number of enemies, that will allow us to just kill more enemies and gather more resources, which is exciting for me. Number of elite enemies. So there is a max. Maybe not for the multipliers by percent, but there is a max for these. Enemy damage, enemy speed, dungeon stages. Yo, get me all the way up. Plus 20 stages. Battle type. What does that mean? Battle type. Does that mean they're only that type of battle? I think I'll go random still. Gem drop. Can I have a lot? Plus 90? Like, I just want to make the ultimate build by getting the most resources that I can, by having the most number of enemies, number of elite enemies. Maybe that increases the enemy count as well. And then more dungeon stages and more gem drop. That is the type of mode that I would like to jump into. Okay, so let's get out of here. So we're stacking our spell, are we? So do you see that? Beside my head, there is a number counter. A small number counter. And I guess holding onto the circle button will release all of my spells. I don't like this one. Voltage Blast, maybe I'll take. I can't remember how to play this game at all, by the way. Okay, so yeah, we get to control any kind of cast. And I'm going to assume that any kind of spell that I get in my spell disc area will also be cast that way altogether at the same time. I do like Lightning Explosion. What type am I holding right now? This is Cold and Blunt. I'll take the Lightning Explosion for now. And what weapon do I like? I guess it really doesn't matter. We'll go in with the staff here. Okay, so let's do this crazy amount of enemies run. I'm not even sure if this works better for my playstyle, because things automatically casting, like the way that I build my spells is typically to have it all work together, even with the auto casting. And I feel like there's some things that would be perhaps better with the outfit that I'm wearing, where you get to save it up and cast it when you want to. But for my playstyle, I don't think it typically would really work better, because I want spells out there generating mana for me typically. So I like having the discs generate mana when I do damage. That is typically what I go for, and with this, it makes it a little bit different, because we're not constantly dealing damage automatically, unless we're just, you know, holding on to circle at all times to use up all our charges all at once. So I already have a lot of cash, and I mean a lot of cash. So I'm gonna use up all my cash right now. That's typically what I do. Maybe another spell disc, or am I gonna be full? I think I'm gonna be full. Cold hit disc doesn't work for us. Elemental affliction disc. Generate 25% of elemental affliction applied as mana. Now I don't know if we're applying affliction too quickly here. Slash damage, increase lightning affliction, increase other elemental afflictions. Okay, that actually makes things really, really good for this particular affliction disc. And we do have one lightning spell here. Lightning zap on target. Okay, so we take the lightning ring. Oops. Take the lightning ring. Pain brand. Increase damage against fire status enemies. If they have the fire status, we do more damage to them. Interesting. I think I'm going to go more lightning, though. And we have a good chance to reroll here. So we have the elemental status, generate 50 mana when any elemental status is triggered. I don't like waiting for the elemental status to trigger, so I don't think I'll do that. I don't like those type of items. Plasma slash is good because we are going lightning at this point. Player dashes generate 20 mana to all discs. Now that might be a new item, honestly, or I've never used it. I don't think I've seen that before, and I would like to dash a lot. When charging attack, gain 5 shield per second, max 15. Shield is removed when releasing the charge attack. Yeah, not going to take that. I'm going to take the Zephyr book. And then we do not want anything else. I'm going to use yet another reroll. Explosion finish disc. Do I have 2 explosions? I have slash and double explosion. Okay, cool. So we are going to obtain that disc. Pierce stun disc is not good. Volcanic explosion could work well with our explosion build for now. Rooster boots, more movement speed, increase with more rooster artifact. We're gonna have a lot of movement speed because of our helmet. More dashes is probably where we're going more so, but I might take it just so that I don't have to re-roll anymore. Actually, I want to re-roll this disc, so we're just gonna re-roll. Critical damage disc. Oh, I do like that because it's just based on damage, but I don't know if we're critting very often. Crit chance is 10%. That's okay. We can increase the crit chance too. Winter River, I don't know if I want that. Perform a combo attack while charging attack. It's super rare. I don't think I'm going to use it. So I'm going to re-roll these 2 again. What are you? On critical hit, roll for additional critical damage with half the critical chance. That's amazing because this is based on the damage dealt as a crit. I hope the secondary effect of this counts for that too. I'm just going to take the sword spin. I know how to use it. But I'm going to let this crit thing, which I hopefully will generate the most mana, or one of the higher amounts of mana, I'm going to put that on a spell that I actually want to cast. So we're on to the next stage here. Now wait a minute, to get some of my lightning things out, I'm gonna have to charge some of those discs, and those discs are based on doing crit damage. We know that one. But the other ones are based on doing lightning type damage as well. So maybe it's not great to have my weapon spell be non-lightning because it doesn't allow me to charge other things very quick. But I'll see what happens. For now, we can definitely just kind of run through things and kill it very easily. So here we go again. We can't re-roll too often. So yeah, what am I lacking right now? I'm lacking expansion slots, actually. I think I should pick up those before I go too crazy. What is this? Electric Bubble. Oh, interesting. I think this is a new spell. I'm going to put that instead of the swords, of course, because it's electric and explosion. Sorry. Weapon spell can be cast again without mana while holding the cast button. I wonder how that interacts with our outfit that lets us build up charges. Yeah, I don't know if I want to use it. I'm going to use it temporarily like this and see what happens. So I'm able to just cast it over and over if I, or at least double. I'm allowed to cast it twice per stack of that bubble that I'm charging up. That's essentially what's happening. Okay, and then generate 25% of damage dealt as mana. That's really good. Okay, so this is 44. 12 is on the critical one. So we're not doing very much criticals right now, but I will build towards it and we'll keep that critical damage disc for later. I think what I'm going to do, there's so many stages on the map on the left-hand side, by the way. Holy crap. Lots of elites here. Yeah, there's a lot happening, or there's a lot offered for this dungeon, and I just realized I probably should have increased the enemy difficulty at least a little bit, because I'm getting a lot stronger than typical because of the gem multiplier, the gem drop multiplier. And since the enemies aren't that difficult, I'm also able to kill them very fast. There is a larger number of them, but that isn't a huge issue so far. Because everything in this game is like essentially AoE spells. And yeah, it's not been too tough to deal with the increased number of enemies. Just gotta hit them a couple times before the other things are ready to cast. But once I can cast more things, everything is screwed. Watch your footing. Who knows? Maybe with the later parts of the dungeon, the other biomes, the enemies are a lot tougher. They're a lot more aggressive, and they are also more, they have more difficult attacks to dodge, I'd say. But yeah, so far, I have a few things that will help us get through the dungeon a little bit quicker. So I just want to make sure that these are casting at a good rate. 130, 56, 31 for damage disc. I think that the bubble is our worst attack. Actually, maybe the slash. And then this is good because of the range. So if I can automatically generate that particular spell, I think we can do lots of damage with our weapon spell. None of this looks really good. Guarantee a critical hit against targets at full health. I mean, it works. I don't love this item because there's a limit to how many enemies will spawn. I'd rather have just like a base critical hit increase, but I'll take it for now because it's the best thing that works with our build. I'm going to keep expanding slots, and then we can have you over here and have you over here for now. And then we will use the old mage's hat just because we have it, but it's not something that will really contribute to the build. Yeah, looking pretty easy. I mean, one thing that I will say is we are playing on a higher difficulty, so we're doing level 15. I've never done that before. After completing this, from what I understand, it will not let me progress through the difficulty multiplier tool thing. Or the difficulty level, how we set it to level 15. I don't think it will unlock level 16 if there is one. Just because the game has made it clear that we're not unlocking any achievements or getting anything saved from anything that we complete through a customized run. I will, again, expand the slot. I'm powerful enough, so I'm just going to spend the money on unlocking slots, which is typically a huge spend for us in a normal run. I can probably unlock all the other slots before I need to buy more spells to survive, if I'm being honest. Visibility is becoming a little bit of an issue, for sure. But that is something that's kind of typical for this game. So we have 2 more. We're just gonna go for it. Ooh. Yeah, so we're definitely going to see it through how far we can get with this outfit, but it's not the type of outfit that I would typically choose, or maybe I have the wrong spells or set up for it right now. But what I'm noticing is typically what would happen is I would just kind of run around and make sure I'm dodging things, and spells would cast automatically, things would chain together, and enemies would start falling just because I have so many spells casted out there. At this point, I almost want to just hold on to circle, which is the cast button, and that would imitate the effect, but that's really working against the point of the outfit. And so what is ending up happening for me is I'm paying attention to dodging things instead of, you know, killing things, because that's where my brain goes normally for this game. And so things aren't dying just kind of naturally from all of the spells being cast automatically. And I'm letting the enemies live a little bit longer because of that. But I will train my brain to cast the spells, meanwhile trying to dodge everything, although visibility is very tough with the amount of spells that you're stacking together and casting all together. It makes it hard to see what's happening underneath. So this is continuous item disc. Generate 10 mana per second for each base continuous type items in the inventory. I never usually use these items, but with so many gems that we're collecting, I think we'll have an excess of items, and I could possibly use something like this because we're going to have that excess of items, and all of my items, excess items, will be of that type, or I can try to do that. I might take that, actually. Increase attack speed for each attack, resets after 2 seconds of no attacks. That doesn't really work for us. Poison gas is a physical continuous item. I'm going to take the continuous item disc. Yeah. I guess we'll have a really good item in there once we find a bunch of continuous items that we have in here. That would allow a item to be really fast at generating mana, hopefully, from having that item. I'll try it. I'll give it a try now. Like I said, I wouldn't typically use a disc like that because I think it's hard to achieve good mana regeneration in a normal situation for that particular disc. But with the customizations that we've made to the dungeon, giving us so many gems, we'll see if it's worth it if we max it out. I'm hoping it is. Yeah, I don't see these attacks coming through. It's actually all the poison on the ground for sure. Oh boy. There's a screamer. He looks like Sideshow Bob now with the red hair. I believe that he used to have a different color to him. Yeah, we're all maxed out. So let's buy a One of these. And then one of these and one of the other things. There you go. Now, what are you? You do not look good. Generate mana when hitting target with attack type. Not really happening. Hydro turn we will take because we do want continuous stuff. Increase movement speed. Sure, we'll take you for now. And we can take the attack hit disc, but we don't actually want to use it. Can I sell stuff? Recycle. Okay, I'll recycle it. The prices don't change when you recycle it in front of it because it's based on how many of the items that you have currently of that particular item, I think. Or maybe it's based on how many you bought. Just in case it's based on how many of those items you currently have, I'm going to move on to the next battle here and buy it next time. Might save us 50 gems. Or I could be wrong and just pay the same thing. It doesn't matter. For the science of it, let's try it out this way. Now, my continuous disc... Oh, it's just floating there. At the bottom of the screen, the bag plus continuous disc is so far from the other ones. I found it unusual, but I just remembered that I put it near the end. Yeah, it did reduce the cost by 50. So it is based on how many you're currently holding in your inventory as it spawns. Okay, so let's buy some more stuff. Got a disc. When you're charging release disc, that is really bad for us. Buy one of you. Buy one of you. What is this thing? Noble Sleeve. Completely charged attacks have 50% increased damage and apply all elemental afflictions equal to damage. Whoa. That's kind of a crazy item for charge attacks and elemental affliction, because you can do a lot of affliction. You can apply a lot of affliction with that particular item, but we're not doing that, so both of those items we're really willing to sell. This is not even continuous, so that's fine. This is not doing anything for us either, so we're gonna sell that. And Hydro Turret we want to keep in our inventory. Oops, I keep pressing the wrong button. Okay, we can keep buying stuff, I guess. We're so rich, I think I'm just gonna do it. That disc looks okay so far. Lightning is good for us. So it's a dashing shock, very good. And then elemental death disc. When generate 40% of elemental afflictions on an enemy minion when it dies. I don't like discs that rely on the enemy dying, but at least it does something for us for now. We can definitely use it, but it won't be as quick as other things that generate mana for sure. Because like I said before, the amount of enemies spawn is limited, and so the amount of enemies that are dying is also limited. So I'll just admit it. I thought I would just do the right thing and play this outfit the way it's supposed to be played. But I'm just holding on to Circle at this point. So I'm playing as if we were not wearing this outfit and just automatically casting everything when it's available. Maybe there will be some situations where I'm not doing that because it makes more sense to wait before I cast something. Another lightning spell, very cool. We're not going to be able to use this bolt impact without a decent disc, and this ice one does not look good. Yeah, it's cold affliction as mana, so we're not going to use that. What is this thing? This is Jester's Fleeing Feet. Gain 200% movement speed while charging attack. We're getting very, very good items for charge attack builds. The two last artifact items, that bracer plus this shoe, really, really good items. I actually like that item a lot, the one that I just sold, but it doesn't work for what we're trying to do, so I'm not going to keep it. Spell damage disc. Spell damage type dealt as mana. Yes, sir. That is good. That is definitely usable. Let's keep moving on. But yeah, we got lots and lots of dungeons to go through. and we're gonna make a lot of money. So we'll see where this goes. One thing that I don't do too often, because there's a kind of a restriction based on how much money that you typically make through a run, is upgrading our spell discs and upgrading our spells. I don't do that very often, because by the time that I get to the end of the regular dungeon, how it's formatted, I just have enough money typically to find enough spells and enough discs and enough artifacts to fill up the inventory, and plus all the money that you need to unlock all the spots. And so by the time I get all the spots unlocked and fill all the empty slots, we are out of money at that point. So if I have the correct build, I'll just upgrade everything till I can't upgrade them anymore, which is, again, something that I don't typically get to do. Generate 15 mana per distance enemy minion traveled by knockback. This will work. I haven't been paying attention to the knockback of everything, but we will have at least a little bit of knockback. Become immune to cold status damage and gain 30% damage while cold status. Gain cold affliction while charging attack. You are not going to work with us, so I will see you later. Actually, I'll summon another one. Why not? So this is a Vanguard's Fold. Gain 1 instance of 100% increased attack damage on dash. Interesting. I wonder if my dash spell will trigger that. I'll keep it for now. I don't know if we're gonna actually keep that, but it does something for us probably. Yeah, so if you can take a look at the health bar, above that is that pant that I just picked up, and it will flash with 100 as a number whenever we're fully charged for that to use its effect. And it's constantly staying there. I think what's happening is I have my lightning dash attack, and this makes any kind of dash effect trigger anytime that we use the spell itself. And that was something that happened before the major update. I was wondering if they would have changed it, because there are some broken things that can happen there. But yeah, it seems like it's still doing the same thing. But yes, we are really strong. Let's see how far we really want to go, because this is going to be a super long run. We've added more floors, and we've added more floors. That's actually what's going to extend the length of the run the most significantly. And so I don't know if it's going to be very interesting to just watch me absolutely crush through everything because I have so much money for an extended period of time. But we'll go for a little bit longer. We'll go at least until the first boss for sure, and we'll keep building this build. But maybe what will happen is we're going to go through, try to find the perfect items for our build, and maybe I'll skip to the end boss fight for you guys or what have you. Because I can't see it being very entertaining to go through all these levels and just kind of see the same thing. But yeah, we'll see what I skip on to through editing here. Explosion creation disc. We do have quite a bit of explosion. We have 3 explosion spells. It's actually the same as any other type of attack that we've been doing. 700% of stun power from slash type dealt. We are doing lots of slash as well. Let me see if any of these are really performing poorly. Critical is not doing well, but I think we can get there. The knockback I'm skeptical about, so I'm going to switch that out for the explosion creation disc. And then we have a mine explosion here. Interesting. I mean, it's not lightning, but it works with explosion for now. Increased dash stamina recovery. Wind Eater. Interesting name. I don't think I need it because I'm dashing just fine, but we'll take it for now. Ah, right, the barrels explode. I totally forgot about those. Oh my god, I walked into that one straight up. yeah, lost a lot of HP. I lost even more right there. Next floor is a shop. Yeah, maybe I'll give the shop a chance instead of wasting my money on the random rolls. Continuous stun disc. How much continuous do I have? I have 0 continuous spells. This is flamethrower continuous. Intellectual's mask. At stage start, gain 400% increased weapon spell mana regeneration buff, but it diminishes over time. I don't love it. Let's re-roll. Gem jar. Generate 5% of gems held as mana per second to all discs. Max is 2,000 gems. Of course, we have a advantage this time with how many gems that we're able to collect, so I will take that. Blunt is not something we need. Physical hit disc. We don't have any physical, do we? Oh, yes, we do. We have the mine, and then this, also the sword spin. 2 spells that we're looking to get rid of probably at some point. I will buy some rerolls actually. Just because we can save our cash and summon a bunch of stuff on the floor, which I might end up doing so that we can be more efficient with the rerolls. Because if you summon a bunch of items on the ground, you have more items that are re-rolling. What do you got here? Thunder is explosion. That's really good for us. I'm taking it. So Thunder is here, and it is on this continuous item disc, which is not great, I don't think. I'm going to put it on the slash disc. Hopefully that's going to be better. Trigger the stage is only 1. That's not good. 12, 19, 9. Okay, I guess the stage was really fast. Those are pretty low numbers compared to what we're seeing in stages. So here's the crypt, the second biome. Let's see if the number of enemies with these types of enemies will present any of an additional challenge to us. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, it's just a matter of time before we kill everything. This stage actually seems easier because no one's dropping pools of poison, which were the big thing that was killing me last time. I'm gonna save up a little bit more cash. But yeah, the game is definitely unbalanced with how powerful we're able to get from the additional cash that we're generating. I should have thought of that. I should have definitely thought of that. So a little bit more enemy HP or maybe enemy health amount would have been appropriate. We got Spark Shotgun, at least it is lightning. Faster charging speed of charge attack. Like I said before, we are finding all the good charged attack items. I really like charged attack items for a lot of the weapons. This weapon has a pretty good charged attack too, but it's just not the direction that I went based on the outfit that we've chosen. So what we want to do, we just lost one of our slash attacks, didn't we? Yes, we did. I'm still going to try to get this continuous disc thing going. So we don't need that particular weapon. Oops. That was my bad. Let's go one more before we start summoning and re-rolling. I just want to drop a lot of items before we start re-rolling. And there's definitely some disc optimization that we can do. There's some artifact replacements that we can do as well. I think for spells, they're all lightning. We don't want to, we haven't really committed to like slash versus explosion versus blunt, like that type of attack type, but we could possibly want to optimize the spells a little bit if other lightning spells exist out there that fit our discs a little bit more. We'll see how that goes. Let me see the performance so far. 62, 57. Oh my god, the continuous disc is outperforming everything. Just with one continuous Hydro Torrent in there. Very, very strange. The Elemental Affliction disc is by far the best, though. Okay, so let's do some discs. I'm just gonna summon a bunch. Maybe one more. They don't look good. I'm telling you right now, they do not look good. Some more artifacts. I guess I do need to summon spells because I need to fill up my empty slots with continuous discs. Elemental Hammer. Apply all Elemental Affliction equal to 100% of stun power dealt. Now, how much is our stun power? I don't know how much that will apply, but it sounds good because we have Elemental Affliction applied over here, so that's only going to power up this spell even more. What is the most useless thing here? I do want to keep the Gem Jar. Wind Eater, I might get rid of because it doesn't seem so good. Spell can be cast while weapon spell can be cast double. That is what the hat was doing. I don't think I need that. So I accidentally picked up the hammer, but we actually want it. Create Chain Lightning on obtaining 20 gems. Meh. Increase max health per unequipped item in inventory. Don't care about health right now. Gain damage buff while standing still. Nope. Generate mana per second for everyone in proximity. Generate 300% of stun power dealt to enemies as mana. Now that might be better than something else that we're doing. Explosion Creation Disc, I'm a little bit skeptical about because we do have a lot of explosion spells, but it's not triggering very often. Elemental Death Disc I really don't like though. So we're going to see if the stun disc can do better than that. Fire type, not going to work out for us. So Pierce item disc, we're not doing that. Continuous damage disc, we have 0 continuous damage, so that doesn't work for us. Spell mana disc, generate 30% of weapon spells mana cost as mana per second. Yeah, that's not very much. Every 1 second, shoot a staggering missile. It's interesting, but not great. When you perform a combo attack, shoot a poison arrow. Pierce type and continuous type are considered the same. You know what's funny? We have 0 pierce type. That was almost a really good item, but doesn't work for us. Continuous and slash type are the same. We have 2 slash types. We don't really care about continuous unless it's sitting at the top, so I actually don't want that scroll. Pierce and blunt. Yeah, we don't care about that either. Every 5 seconds, create a bomb that deals the same damage as the biggest single damage dealt during the cooldown. No thanks. Generate 30% of damage from continuous type, which is not anything. This is Pierce. Pierce Creation Disc, that's not helping us. This is also not helping us because we don't want to put other items in the inventory. This lightning one looks good. Generate 15 mana when hitting with lightning type. This is obviously really good for us. Who is underperforming right now? The crit disc is really underperforming right now. Explosion finish disc can't be that. Actually, we just got more explosion spells, so maybe that will be good. The slash thing, it's actually not doing too bad. The crit is doing less, so I guess I'll swap it out for now. But I'm hoping that we can keep building crit. What do we got? Heat Sinker. Disc reduces its overheat value per distance disc travel. Maybe. Attack type is also considered spell type. For certain builds, this is amazing, but not for ours. Pierce and Explosion Scroll, still not the types that we really want to swap over. When Cold Sash triggers, nope. Every 0.4 seconds, weapon attacks also create a piercing attack. Nope. 10% of stun power and 10% attack speed for each available dash count. So we have up to 3 increases with more bear artifacts. Stun power and increased attack speed. The stun power works well for us, but the attack speed doesn't. Blunt stun disc. How many blunt do we have? That could work for us, but I don't want to commit to it. I feel like the others will just do just as good. Time disc. Yeah, that's not good. Time disc is kind of really terrible. I'm going to obtain everything and sell it. And we're going to wait for another big spawn before we go crazy again. So we want to keep you. Just want to build up my cash again so that we can use this thing properly, the gem jar. And also, yeah, just save up so that we can buy more. Taking lots of damage, I think. Are we in the clear? Nope, we're not. Second wave. Yeah, it's super easy. Give me all the gems. We have another lightning spell. I'm just checking performance again. 42, 44, 38, which is explosion creation disc. I'm probably going to get rid of it. Yeah, the 2 explosion discs are not performing well, so we don't want to keep them around. When obtaining gem, gain increased damage. It diminishes over time. We have spark jab, which is continuous and also lightning, so we can either use it or we can bank it for this disc to do better. I think the mine explosion, obviously, we want to get rid of, so I just remembered that we had it. We don't need you because you're not continuous. I'm going to sell you, and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going here. Just because once I start tinkering, it's going to take a while to get through the tinkering. And so I don't want to tinker every opportunity that I have. I want to just have lots and lots of money and do one big tinkering session, just so that we can get through this dungeon a little bit quicker. If I rush through, maybe we can get through all the stages pretty quick. But yeah, I have to limit my buying phases for sure, because that's what's taking the most time. But yeah, I will let you guys watch me cook. Keep going. Hopefully all those gems come to me, even though I'm leaving before they touch me. I'm going to trust that they do. Ooh. But yes, the last biome has a lot of people that do full screen attacks. They dash right into you. The third biome, I think, will be a true attestment to whether or not the number of enemies will present any kind of challenge for what we've customized the dungeon to look like this time around. Alright, let's keep going, I think. We're only halfway through this biome. Oh my god. Maybe I'll only allow myself like 2 shopping phases or something per biome. Ouch. Seems like there is a modifier that the enemies have more shield. One thing that I think that I can see that is different is the progression bar at the top. I think they've upgraded the visual design of that. So this is lightning / explosion. Really, really cool. Gain 0.5 shield on obtaining gems. Max is 10. Maybe. Death disc, we're not going to take. I'm going to choose this lightning spell. So explosion. Most things are explosion again. Are you guys still underperforming? It is. 54. We definitely want to get rid of the explosion discs. And if there's any continuous here, I guess Spark Jab is continuous. It works because of our continuous jar thing, so I'm going to put that away and put you in. I wonder if our crit disc will outperform one of the explosion discs. I'm going to sell the explosion disc because I know I'm going to get rid of it. One more stage, perhaps? Yeah, let's see if the crit disc will now outperform the other disc. Just based on how much we're casting now. I think that we have more synergy between all of our discs and all of our artifacts, that kind of thing. more casting means more spells out there. More spells out there means that we're hitting things more, and hopefully that means also we're critting things more often. So we'll see if that crit disc is now doing something for us that is more valuable. Jump into this. Crit disc did 50 versus 47, so barely above it. I guess it's better than the other disc. Actually, it did better than the continuous item disc as well. But I'm definitely planning on getting way more continuous spells soon. Ouch. So I think I'll buy here. I'll look for a little bit of everything. A little bit of all three types of items. Because we do want to replace some of our discs. We need spells for our inventory, just continuous ones in particular. And our artifacts, I think, need the most help. There's just some utility artifacts that don't really work for us. Also, I'm taking lots of damage. I shouldn't be. Continuous disc. We're not actually using any continuous spells. There's a continuous spell right there. The water orb, I believe, is continuous. I remember it being continuous. That lightning spell is also continuous, but it's one of my favorite spells. A little bit more for sure. Whew, this is a lot of items going on. Physical hit disc, don't need that. Maybe buy one more of each. I want to keep that 2,000... I just picked one up by accident. I want to keep that $2,000 gem range, and I think with the selling, we might get back up there. I accidentally picked this up. I'm going to have to sell it. I wish I could drop it so I could re-roll it, but I can't. So this is a... Oh, laser sweeper is considered slash. It's definitely continuous like. I really like this item. We're going to use it. Do I have any other continuous lightning? I do not. We want to keep the dash, just in case we want to do some dash stuff. Let me see what has done the least damage. 1, 5. 1,500 seems like very little, and it's casting the most. Trigger the stage. Maybe it's just very low mana, and that's why it's casting so often. I gotta watch out for that. Oh yeah, it's a super, super low cost. No wonder this thing is applying, or outperforming all the other discs, because the item that we had in there had such a low cost. So you gotta kind of watch out for that. That is totally my bad. The way that I've been testing is not real testing, because I didn't have, similar spells equipped to everything, but whatever. Generate 10% current health as mana per second. Nope, not good. So Twin Heats is a fire thing. Omni Elemental Strike is every single element, and it's just like a small hit on things. That's kind of cool. If we ever want to pivot, that would be a start for us. But I might take it instead of the slash, actually. Is it considered a slash as well? It's considered blunt, whatever. So we get rid of the slash, not using you anymore. And what is this thing? Worm Collar. It's a minion. It's fire explosion, right? You are... Oh, Water Bomb is an explosion. I was wrong about this one. That's my bad. Blood Shield. When you lose health, gain shield equal to the amount lost. This will keep us alive. And I know it's a very, very good item. It's one of the items I wished I would find on every single run as I was doing my full clear of the game. I will have to get rid of something. The dash is not so good because I'm not dashing around all the time. I might get rid of that. I'm not dashing around all the time. I'm more so walking around, which is maybe a mistake. Curved Sword. While dashing, create slash type. Double weapon, spell mana regeneration, but cast a randomly equipped spell. I'm kind of into that. No, I'm not. Increase elemental damage, and then this is increase gem drop. Oh my god, I'll take that instead of my movement speed for sure. So that's even more gem drop now. Let's re-roll everything. So this is generate 120% of damage dealt to fully health enemies as mana. Again, that's relying on enemies being around, so I don't like it. Explosion stun disc. How much explosion do we have now? We have a lot still. This is 60% of affliction as mana when lightning type is created. Hopefully that does better than the explosion finish disc, because we're all lightning, so I mean, in theory that should work really well. This one could possibly work well too, because explosion type of spells typically have really big stun. Let me just double check one. Stun power is 8 versus this has 3, which is not explosion. 2, 2. Blunt is 6. Blunt is pretty good. This one has 6 for explosion, and this one has 3. Never mind. Yeah, not going to take it. Snow Claws. Conducted lightning. Okay. I do like conducted lightning. It is continuous. Oops. I think I want to replace an item with it, if anything. Maybe the thunder? Thunder is low mana cost, so I'm thinking that it's not as good. What is this one again? Spark Shotgun. Let's get rid of the Spark Shotgun. Spark Shotgun is not continuous, so we don't actually need it anymore. And I'm just going to commit to the Conducted Lightning here. And this is a Ice Wisp. Whoa, Enchanted Lightning. Add 10 lightning attack, 10 lightning damage to attack type. Yeah, that's not something that we're doing. Weapon attack roots enemies, reduce effectiveness against a boss. This must be new. Chained Bells. I've never seen it. Never seen it in my life. Increase attack size for martial lens. Interesting. This is our last reroll, by the way. 15 mana when spell type is finished. Honestly, we're casting a lot, and it might be pretty decent because we're casting so many freaking spells. I might pick it up temporarily. We have to pick up everything anyways because we can't reroll. But I actually might keep it. We don't need that disc. Don't need that disc. Construct's Claw. Random elemental claws on enemies. Interesting. It counts as an attack too. I don't think I'm going to use it, so I'll probably sell it. Reduce damage. On saving a jam, you get attack speed, which we're not using, so that doesn't make any sense for us. Gain 1 shield for each non-minion death. I don't know how that is 5-star. That's not great. If you're going for a full shield build and you're going for like endless mode or one of the other challenge modes, it's pretty good because there's lots of enemies dying there, but otherwise, I don't think it's a very good item. Get rid of you, get rid of you. We're way ahead of that $2,000 requirement for our jar thing. I guess things are selling for a lot, but I'm gonna stop cooking. We got some things that are hopefully more optimized than we were before. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute, are things not dying as fast? Or is that just me? Oh, they heal ally. Enemies are healing allies on death. So that is why things are lasting longer, I have to assume. I want to also assume that I'm doing more DPS. 42, 49, so that's definitely performing well now. The crit thing is the only thing that I might say is underperforming. Actually, it's performing just as well as this lightning power disc, which I'm surprised by. Right. Maybe I'm satisfied. Okay, now this, it looks like we're crushing through everything. There's no modifier where the enemies are doing weird things to survive longer or anything like that, so yeah, I think that we actually are doing much better than before. Okay, I'm still gonna keep moving. We gotta speed through this now. think what I'll do is I'll make it all the way to the shop. We're gonna have a ton of cash for the shop. Not that we can spend too much at the shop anyways, because rerolls are limited. But I'll go to the shop, get whatever we need from there, go to the boss, and we'll do our next cooking session with the boss. A couple more stages before we get there. But yeah, as you can see, that lightning sweeper, it's that little ray that spins in a circle. It is a continuous type of spell. It's not considered one in the game. It's considered a slash spell, but it actually does stay out there. Usually slash spells will do a quick slash and disappear, but that one lasts for a while, and I don't know why they chose to consider it a slash spell instead of a continuous spell. I think it's more continuous than slash, but like maybe even it should be considered both, because there are some items that are considered multiple different types of spells. Okay. There's definitely a lot of enemies. I guess what I could start doing is upgrading anything that I know I'm going to keep. There's some really, really cool modifiers that are added through upgrades for the discs. There's some upgrades that will have it like generate mana for all other spells, and like every time you cast it, it does a possibility of duplicating the spell that you just cast, kind of thing. There's a lot of really, really crazy things that you can do with the upgrades to discs. So I'm excited to see some of that, and I think we will become extremely, extremely ridiculously overpowered once we spend all this cash on upgrading. Because I've never seen even more than like 6,000 gems at once in my purse, and we're at 13,000 right now. I think an upgrade to our current discs will probably only cost a couple hundred for the first few levels. So we're gonna go really, really crazy. After using all of these gems to upgrade. One last death dude, there you go. I have somehow healed almost all the way to full health. Enemy attacks apply lightning. Enemy attacks also apply cold. Okay, gotcha. Don't worry, I'll just kill them real quick. Yes, these guys are a non-issue. One thing that I am noticing is in the top left-hand corner, you'll see a number pop up with an icon beside it. That's the meta currency. I don't know exactly what it's called. It might be called Glimmer or Spark or something. Yeah, that's a meta currency in the game. Lets you unlock stuff, and also it's used for re-rolling your loadout before any kind of run. But I'm surprised that you're able to gather that currency even on a customized run. I just thought the customized run would disable you from any type of progression. Maybe they overlooked it or something like that. I'm not sure. Okay, here is the shop. Don't need a potion. Lightning Death Disc. I don't like relying on death, as I said before. Are you continuous? No, you're not. So explosion and blunt are considered the same. We have a lot of blunt, we have a lot of explosion. Really isn't something that I'm interested in taking though. The crit disc is still doing kind of bad. This lightning power disc is doing bad. Is this thing just high cost? It's not really that high cost. Generate 60% of affliction as mana. Okay, maybe we replace this because it seems like it's not very good at all. Spell type is finished. When spell types are finished. Could you possibly be better than that? I don't know. Let's re-roll. Okay, another lightning disc. When lightning type is finished. Isn't that what we just had? Lightning hit. Okay, lightning power disc we don't like. I'm going to get rid of the crit thing now. I guess we're not going to go crit. And we're going to put in this lightning finish disc. Hopefully that works well for us. This is not continuous. And then shock shrapnel. Enemies are stunned when their lightning status triggers. Meh. Don't really care for that. I'd rather have something that increases my power and stuff. Let's take a bunch of rerolls. And we're going to go into the boss fight and cook up. You know what? Let's get 7 just for good measure. I picked up 6. There's 7. Lucky number 7, right? Alright, let's see if this is going to be an easy fight. We have the ice construct. Lightning versus ice. Maybe what I need is like disc overheat protection or something, because all my discs are glowing red. And perhaps that is preventing us from doing more damage. Continuous creation disc, not really something that we're doing. 5% of gems held as max health. Nope. I'm just going to take this thing of gems. It's a lot of gems. And yeah. A couple potions that we don't need to. 44, 28. Interesting. Everything was very low performing because it was a quick stage. I'm going to blame it on. How many slash things do we have? I feel like this is underperforming because it has a low cast number anyways, and it has a very cheap spell that it is casting. So I'm gonna roll. That disc looks good so far. It has a lightning bolt on it. Let's cook up for a little bit here. I just picked up a thing, didn't I? Lightning finish disc. Which one did I let go of? I think it was this one. Generate 18 mana when hitting with weapon spell. I accidentally picked it up because it's the same button to summon and pick up, so that's my bad. Pressing too quickly. I'm just gonna sell it because I don't think that's the best we can do for ourselves. Alright, let's keep going here. Another lightning spell there. Lightning and slash, or piercing and slash is the same. Blunt and slash is the same. I don't know if I need any of those types of things. I just picked one up by accident again. Whoa, what the heck's that? Not sure if I've seen that before. Couple more spells, maybe. Couple more discs. Okay, so we picked up this thing. What are you doing? Provide constant mana to all equipped discs. I mean, that sounds good. Do we need this lightning affliction thing anymore? Increase lightning affliction. Increase other elemental affliction. I mean, we have one disc that is based on lightning affliction. It is not doing so well, however. So we might not need affliction at all. You know what? I'm rolling out of it. Bottomless potion. Hopefully that actually gives us enough mana for it to be worth it. Lightning fusion is an explosion. It's a very, very low cost spell though, so I'm skeptical about it. New sun we pick up because it's continuous. Shock whip is again a low cost. This is continuous, so we pick it up. Beast bite is not something I'm going to pick up. Fire status, physical type. Generate 41% of lightning affliction applied as mana. F. That is really actually the same as what we had before, but it's better than nothing right now. I kind of screwed that up. Pirate hat. Critical chance increases critical damage. We're rolling out of critical, so that doesn't really work for us. We rolled out of critical. Provide 10 mana to a random disc on critical hit. Oh man, we're getting all the good critical stuff over here. Gain charge for overkilling enemy minion. Last combo attack consumes that charge. Yeah, not doing that. When casting a weapon spell, cast an additional weapon spell. Interesting. That is interesting, but is it really better than anything that we have here? I don't think so. Guarantee a critical hit against targets at full health. Oh, right, we're rolling out a crit, so I will take it to replace that, but it's not the best thing. Let's re-roll everything here. All right, check out the discs first. Generate 15 mana when hitting with elemental type. That works for us, for sure. 60 mana when casting weapon spell. Slash type is created. When you spin around, I don't want to be spinning around. Volt Whips is low cost, so I don't want it. We're looking really just for continuous stuff, which is not appearing for us. Deer Helmet, increase attack speed, increases movement speed as well, and increased movement speed increases attack speed. No limit. Interesting. We don't really care about attack speed. That is a pretty good item, though, I must say, if you're going attack damage type of build. 30% increased mana gain for all discs. That's overall really freaking good. We do have a lot of overheat, though. I don't care about this crit thing anymore because we're not critting it as much. I'll take the Bountiful Earring. Fire type and cold type are considered the same type. Yep, not going to work for us. So all these are pretty bad. Let's re-roll again. Lightning Disc. Generate 65% of lightning type damage as mana. That is likely better than this one that is relying on Affliction. Generate 10.4 mana when hitting enemies with any damage type. 10.4 mana. That sounds like a lot. When you're hitting them with any damage type, that sounds like really good. Generate 19.5 mana when spell type is finished. Okay. Now this is underperforming. But this is even less. I'm surprised by that, because this, if anything, would generate more mana than the all damage hit disc, because this generates 10.4 mana whenever you hit something. This is generating 19.5 mana when we hit anything with lightning, which is all of our spells. So it can't do better than that. The stun disc is not performing as poorly as some of our other discs. This one hasn't been tested. Okay, this one has triggered a lot because I'm just standing here and it's triggering. So it's continuously going. So I don't have a really good read on how much this is performing during battle. The damage disc is not doing well for some reason. Okay, I'm gonna try to replace that with the all damage hit disc. Generate mana when you critical hit with a spell type. Right. Slash over here. Nope. Frostbiter is continuous. This is also continuous. Cool. And then Uppercut Fist is not something that we need. Health loss removes all disc overheat. I don't want the overheat to be based on that. 3% increased critical chance and 15 increased weapon damage for each available dash count. That's pretty cool. I wish we found that before. Gain 5 shields per second while idle. Yeah, none of this is good. Let's reroll again. Really quick. Explosion. Explosion. Pierce. Whenever you dash, now I believe this dash will trigger this disc. I believe. Okay, you know what? We're gonna do some testing. Put you in instead of maybe spell type finished. Hopefully that will do a lot for us. It's 78 mana, which is a lot. And if we dash a lot, let's see if it triggers. Any dashes? There's a dash. Huh, okay, I guess we're not casting our dash spell. When spell type is created, is that what we have here? I'd rather have the disc that is on creation instead of finished, because spells have different durations. Increase damage for each available dash count. Do we have any more bear artifacts? I don't think we do. Increase weapon spell mana regeneration. Create a blunt type attack. Every 5 seconds, increase different elemental damage by 100%. Yeah, none of this is really good. I'm gonna stop cooking because I feel like we have enough upgrades. Now I just realized we want to keep empty spaces if we want to upgrade any of our items, because eventually I'm going to have a full inventory of continuous spells, but at that point I hopefully will be satisfied with everything that I have, and I'm just ready to upgrade everything instead of trying to find new items, because we can't sell unless we have space. So I'm getting rid of the spell finish disc because I have the spell creation disc. And yeah, let's do one. Oops, did I just drop something? Okay, I think I'm just moving it by hitting circle. That's my bad. I think we're gonna do one stage of testing in the last biome, the barracks biome, and then if I can do a save state, that'd be great. But I'm definitely going to separate the video now that I've seen how long it's gonna take to finish this extended dungeon here. Yeah, I think our dash spell is definitely filling up that disc. But we're not dashing too often, so that's not a good interaction right now. Maybe I'll do the dash on a different spell. Spell type, damage, okay, that's good. Yeah, it looks pretty good so far, this build that we have. Now, can I return? Do you want to ban an ongoing game? Uh-oh. I do not. Okay, but anyways, I will cut it there and we'll make a part 2 for the rest of our extended dungeon run here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying some more spell disc content here. It's been a while since we played the game. The next time we jump back in, we'll finish off the dungeon and see what we end up with, how powerful we are with this super high money generation run. So hopefully you'll look forward to that. Leave a like if you're enjoying the content. Don't forget to subscribe as well. I really appreciate it, guys, and I'll catch you again later.